Hey everybody, welcome to our third and final video lecture on intercultural communication. In this video lecture, we'll discuss navigating company cultures. And we could, of course, say a million different things about company cultures. We could talk about the role of company culture in driving the success or failure of companies. We could talk about the role of company culture as a driver of employee satisfaction or the absence thereof. But for your purposes, and thus for the purposes of this video lecture, I'd mainly like to focus on the role of company culture in driving hiring decisions. And to understand why company culture plays such an important role in driving hiring decisions, we first need to understand an important fact. And that fact is as follows. It's the fact that misalignment between employees and their company's culture results in truly massive annual turnover costs, right? When people do not align with the culture of the company that they work for, they are more likely to be unhappy and leave. They are more likely to be unhappy and do good work, and thus be terminated, et cetera, et cetera. And that turnover costs companies huge amounts of money and produces huge amounts of hardship. So, to avoid these turnover costs, employers want to make sure that their employees are a good fit for their company. And so when you're applying for jobs, you want to make sure, as we've discussed previously in our video lectures on career documents, et cetera, that you identify not only how you fit in a job, but how you fit with the company. You want to demonstrate not just that you can do what the job requires you to do, but that your values and your goals as a professional and an individual align with the values and goals of a company or workplace. Now, this brief video lecture is way too short for us to provide a comprehensive overview of all the company cultures that are out there. There are, in fact, as many company cultures as there are companies. So instead, I want to just provide you with some simple resources that you can use to look into and research company culture and the kinds of questions that you should be asking yourself as you're using these resources. So the first resource, and perhaps the most powerful, is Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a database that's available through the UF Business Library that allows you to see what current and former employees of a company or a workplace say about the experience of working there. And in many respects, that will provide you with the most unvarnished access to the culture of the company, right? Culture is most directly apparent in the experience of working for an employer on a day-to-day basis. And Glassdoor helps you access that experience. Next, and quite obviously, you can consult the company's website. You want to see how the company presents itself to the world. Does the company present itself as a very stern, sober, and serious institution? Does it present itself as a more goofy and fun-loving institution? Does it identify an emphasis on corporate social responsibility or community involvement, et cetera, et cetera? And along similar lines, you also want to check out the company's social media. A company's social media is likely to align with the company's website, but it's worth checking out nonetheless. And then lastly, you want to look into reporting on the company in the media, in the business press, in the press more broadly, et cetera, et cetera. You want to see whether the claims that the company is making about itself on its website on social media are in fact accurate. If those assertions align with the perceptions of the broader world, okay? And so those are the kinds of questions and the kinds of resources that you can use to research and understand the culture of a company so that you can reflect that culture in your career documents, right? And doing so is crucial because we know that companies are looking for candidates who fit not just the requirements of the job, but also the mission and goals of the company. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this third video lecture on intercultural communication. Thanks for watching all 3 of these videos, and until next time, be well.